Will Halo Infinite ever be a game for us again? Hey guys, sorry to cut into this like this, but I'm trying to do content creation like this for a living, and if you could subscribe to the channel, it would really help me out and show that you're willing to support me like that. Thank you. The more I think about it, the more I realize I just don't think that we're the priority anymore. I know I made that video about it recently where I ranted about it, and I think it's true. I think you can look at, what they say versus what they do. That's a huge thing that you really have to learn to pay attention to if you want to learn about someone's true intentions. You can make all the public statements about how we care about the fans, we're concerned about etc., but when you do things like what they did with the Team Snipers playlist, you make it clear that you don't really care what classic fans want anymore. I don't know that you plan on caring anymore. And I want to clarify something that I didn't really state in my last video. I do believe there are people within 343 Industries that are genuinely passionate about Halo Infinite and want to make the best game ever and make it for us because they grew up on these games. I think those people exist within 343, and I think they desperately want to have a voice, but they don't and they won't. The truth is, there's not a whole lot of money in appealing to classic fans like us. There just isn't. There's no incentive to do it because we are the people that are not willing to spend as much money on video games as younger people are. People who are more interested in the cosmetics and the emblems and etc. I don't know. I have a really, really bad feeling that we're actually looking at the breaking point in Halo where we get left behind. I feel like there's a lot of comparison to the Star Wars prequels, where the old Star Wars fans saw the prequel movies that they grew up watching the old Star Wars movies, and then the prequels came out and they were nothing like the original movies that they knew and loved. It was all a CG schlock of nonsense to them that didn't really appeal to anything that they considered Star Wars. Whereas us younger people, who very much enjoyed the prequels, for the most part anyway, I'm not going to speak for everybody, found that the prequels were really cool. They had a lot of awesome world building. I think we can all agree the writing wasn't amazing, but the stories that they showed, the places that they went to, and the visual contrast to the previous films is honestly, it's staggering in an awesome way, in my opinion. This is the way it goes. This is the way that things happen over time. And I think maybe what's happening is we're looking at Halo hitting its prequel series moment, where 343 may have finally just gotten a foothold in the community where they've pleased the majority of people enough to where the classic fans, who are a vocal minority, I will give you, the main contributing factor anymore and don't really need to be catered towards. And I think this is an odd attitude to have towards stuff, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of working considering what you see with Halo Infinite. It is, contrary to what we want to believe, relatively successful. It's still in the top 10 on the Xbox charts. It's dead on Steam, but I don't know, Steam has never really been their target demographic. It could have been big if they had prioritized it a little bit more, but I don't know, just part of me feels like this is it. This is the moment where, barring some major directional change or some changing of hands, maybe 343 or Bonnie Ross leaving 343 or moving higher up into Microsoft and no longer focusing on Halo, means that we're not really going to see any change in the direction that the franchise is going in. As it stands, for the last 10 years, Halo has done nothing but chase trends. It's done nothing but chase trends for over a decade, and I see no signs of that stopping. Now, I'll be honest, I'm very much looking forward to this Halo BR experience that we're supposed to be getting, but I cannot deny that it is a massive attempt to chase a trend. That's exactly what it is. It's them trying to capitalize on the popularity of the genre of games. They see, how much Tim the Tatman, you can see the writing on the wall, and the reason why they're making a BR experience is because it will literally print money for them. The second that a Halo BR comes out, tons of people will flock to Halo regardless of whether or not the product is quality, and they will play the crap out of it. And all 343 has to do, even if they can't manage to make it super polished, which I have a feeling, knowing Certain Affinity and they're making the mode, that it will be relatively polished compared to Halo Infinite. Even if it wasn't, it wouldn't really matter that much. As long as the devs promised that they were going to work on stuff, if they gave people a list of features that they were going to fix, it really wouldn't matter that much. That's the way that the industry works nowadays. We're sort of in a if you build it, they will come phase of the industry, where it really doesn't matter what gets made as long as there is industry hype behind it and you make good trailers. People don't really care. They'll buy your product. As long as there is something in that game that will keep you playing it for large periods of time, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something to convince you to keep coming back, you will keep coming back. It is a fact. It is a strange, odd, brain-hacking fact of the industry. And it's derived from the mobile games industry. You can thank EA for that. But that being said, to circle back, I don't know that this is a franchise that is for me anymore. And I have to really question that constantly. Do I continue to make a stink about it, or do I accept that it's no longer being made or tailored towards me whatsoever? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's possible I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm completely way off base, and they are trying to appease us and want to make a game for us. But when they consistently do things that the fans have not asked for in any way, shape, or form, or they sort of do the genie wish strategy of giving people technically what they asked for, but twisting it about as much as they possibly could. I don't know. There's a really, really strong sense of ego within 343 that we don't know what we're talking about, and we're emotionally over the top because we are so attached to the franchise. So they don't really need to wrestle with our opinion too much. They just need to keep doing what they feel like doing. And they can't possibly be wrong about things. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm sure if you looked at the data sheets that they have, they'd point to the fact that Halo Infinite's profits are far higher than they've been in the past. And when it comes down to it, the direction of franchises isn't decided by the emotions of people, it's decided by the numbers. Thanks for watching, guys.